China's transformation in this last 10 years will prove to be one of the transformatory periods of the world.
It's been a massive change in the mindset of the Chinese people over the last 10 years.
China is probably the first country to be engaged in long-term economic planning and development. I think we all thought that China was involved in planning, reform and opening up.
When I first came to China in 2010, over my time here that there's been a change right from the top in terms of ecological civilization, which is recognizing that you can't have a healthy economy without a healthy environment. So there's now a much more balanced approach to development. And I think that's reflected in a lot of high-level policies and laws. So laws on the environment and wildlife protection have been strengthened significantly in the time that I've been here. And also enforcement of those laws. There's been a lot of other progress as well. So things like national parks, first 5 national parks, and some of these are huge, like Zhanjiangyuan, is comparable to the size of Florida in the US or Italy. But then also I think there's been a huge change in awareness among population in China. Back in 2000 there were only 3 birdwatching societies in China, and today there are over 100. And I think that's just one sort of indicator.
In the long term, the achievements that will impress us most of the last decade will be those in space. Going to Mars, going to the other side of the moon, they're all preparations for a much bigger move of mankind into space. It's not just about finding alternative places to go and live, it's about finding more resources to better understand the history of the world and how to protect ourselves from the challenges and problems. Chinese people have managed to stay together through difficulties, whether they're health ones like COVID or SARS, whether they're economic ones. It comes from the only way the countries can be successful, which is they have to put the people at the center of their thinking. If they're thinking about how to improve the life and quality of life for the people of their country, then they will get the right answer.
100 million people lifted out of absolute poverty, and I've been out and I've seen what's happening in areas of rural China, and people can see that they no longer have to live in poverty, and they can see that they can raise themselves out of poverty and keep themselves out of poverty by their own efforts. That is a massive change in expectations. If you look at what is actually happening in China and what has happened over the last 10, 20, 30 years, why would people not be satisfied with the government? They've got better food on the table, better clothes on their back, better roofs over their head, better schools for their kids, safe streets, a growing welfare system providing health and other social care, and above all they've got prospects for a better future.